The Berbers or Amazighen are an ethnic group indigenous to North Africa. They are distributed in an area stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Siwa Oasis in Egypt, and from the Mediterranean Sea to the Niger River. Historically, they spoke Berber languages, which together formed the Berber branch of the Afro-Asiatic family. Since the Muslim conquest of North Africa in the 7th century, a large number of Berbers inhabiting the Maghreb have acquired different degrees of knowledge of varieties of the languages of North Africa. After the colonization of North Africa by France, the French government succeeded in integrating the French language in Algeria by making French the official national language and requiring all education to take place in French. Foreign languages, mainly French and to some degree Spanish, inherited from former European colonial powers, are used by most educated Berbers in Algeria and Morocco in some formal contexts, such as higher education or business. Today, most Berber people live in northern African countries, mainly in Algeria and Morocco. A small Berber population is also found in Niger, Mali, Libya, Mauritania, Tunisia, Burkina Faso and Egypt, as well as large immigrant communities living in France, Canada, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, and other countries of Europe. The Berber identity is usually wider than language and ethnicity, and encompasses the entire history and geography of North Africa. Berbers are not an entirely homogeneous ethnicity, and they encompass a range of phenotypes, societies and ancestries. The unifying forces for the Berber people may be their shared language, or a collective identification with the Berber heritage and history. There are some 25 to 30 million Berber speakers in North Africa. The number of ethnic Berbers is far greater, as a large part of the Berbers have acquired other languages over the course of many decades or centuries, and no longer speak Berber today. The majority of North Africa's population is believed to be Berber in origin, although due to Arabization most ethnic Berbers identify as Arabized Berbers. Berbers call themselves some variant of the word Amazighen, possibly meaning free people or noble men. The name likely had its ancient parallel in the Roman and Greek names for Berbers, Mazises. Some of the best known of the ancient Berbers of the Numidian king Massinissa, King Jugurtha, the Berber Roman author Apuleius, Saint Augustine of Hippo, and a Berber Roman general Lucius Quietus, who was instrumental in defeating the major wave of Jewish revolts of 115 to 117. Dihara Kahina was a female Berber religious and military leader, who led a fierce Berber resistance against the Arab-Muslim expansion in northwest Africa. Kusala was a 7th-century male and leader of the Oroba tribe of the Berber people and king of the Sanhaja Confederation. Famous Berbers throughout history include Yusuf ibn Tashfin, king of the Berber Almoravid Empire, Tariq ibn Ziyad, the general who conquered Hispania, Abbas ibn Firnas, a prolific inventor and early pioneer in aviation, Ibn Battuta, a medieval explorer who traveled the longest known distances of his time. Name. The name Berber derives from the Latin barbarus and from Greek barbaris, beta alpha rho omicron sigma. A history by a Roman consul in Africa made the first reference of the term barbarian to describe Numidia. The use of the term Berber spread in the period following the arrival of the Vandals during the major invasions. Muslim historians, sometime after, also mentioned the Berbers. The English term was introduced in the 19th century, replacing the earlier Barbary. The Berbers of the Maori cited by the Chronicle of 754 during the Umayyad conquest of Hispania, to become since the 11th century the catch-all term Moros on the charters and chronicles of the expanding Christian Iberian kingdoms to refer to the Anilusi, the North Africans, and the Muslims overall. For the historian historian Abraham Isaac Laredo, the name Amazigh could be derived from the name of the ancestor Mesig, which is the translation of biblical ancestor Dedan, son of Sheba in the Targum. According to Leo Africanus, Amazigh meant free man, though this has been disputed, because there is no root of mzgh meaning free in modern Berber languages. This dispute, however, is based on a lack of understanding of the Tamazight language, as am is a prefix meaning a man, one who is. Therefore, the root required to verify this endonym would be zig, free. This, however, is also missing from Tamazight's lexicon, but may be related to the well-attested as a strong, tizid, bravery, or jegeg, to be brave, courageous. Further, it also has a cognate in the Tuareg word Amazighen, meaning noble. This term is common in Morocco, especially among Central Atlas, Riften and Shilla speakers in 1980, but elsewhere within the Berber homeland sometimes a local, more particular term, such as Kabbalah is more often used instead in Algeria. The Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, and Byzantines mentioned various tribes with similar names living in Greater Libya, in the areas where Berbers were later found. Later tribal names differ from the classical sources, but are probably still related to the modern Amazigh. The Meshwesh tribe among them represents the first thus identified from the field. Scholars believe it would be the same tribe called a few centuries afterwards in Greek as Mazes by Hectaeus and as Maxis by Herodotus, while it was called after that Mazaces and Masax in Latin sources, and related to the later Massilian Massizeli. All those names are similar and perhaps foreign renditions of the name used by the Berbers in general for themselves, Amazighen. Prehistory. The Maghreb, or Western North Africa on the whole, is believed to have been inhabited by Berbers from at least 10,000 BC. Northern African cave paintings, dating back 12 millennia, have been found in the Tassilinaj region of southern Algeria. Others were found in Tadrat Akakus in the Libyan desert. A Neolithic society, marked by domestication and subsistence agriculture, developed in the Saharan and Mediterranean region of northern Africa between 6000 and 2000 BC. This type of life, richly depicted in the Tassilinaj cave paintings of southeastern Algeria, predominated in the Maghreb until the Classical period. Prehistorical Tifinagh scripts were also found in the Oran region. During the pre-Roman era, several successive independent states existed before the king Massinissa unified the people of Numidia.